We're now joined in the infield media center by driver of the number 18 Interstate Batteries Toyota, Kyle Busch. Kyle, tell us about your run today.
Well, it wasn't terrible, I guess. I mean, we ran up front most of the day and had a good race car, good enough that we could finish in the top 5 or run in the top 5 with. But man, we were battling that thing like nothing else today. It was just all over the place. It was loose, it was tight. There was just so much of a razor blade edge that we were fighting. We were on one side or the other. We couldn't ever get it exactly right, and so just a frustrating day in that part. And then you know, when you get behind lap cars and you can't pass them because the aerodynamics of the racetrack of the car, that's frustrating. And so you know, we're just lucky to salvage the 3rd place today, I believe. And you know, we've got good race cars. The guys at JGR do a great job of putting them together and preparing them and everything for us. And Addington made some great race calls for adjustments, and we just couldn't. We had one run there that we felt like we had a winning race car, and you know, the track changed and the tires changed and stuff, and so you know, we just couldn't ever get that feel back. But we finished 3rd.
We'll open up to questions from the media. Please state your name and affiliation, and let me know if you have a question. We'll start back here in the back. You're on.
No. Well, we didn't wreck, so that's okay. And we battled the car all day long and just couldn't really ever get it right. And so, I mean, was it fun to drive? No. Was it hard to drive? Yes. Did it survive the day? Yes. So was it a good day? Sure.
We'll go back over here.
Carlos Mendez, Forward Star Telegram. You mentioned the track changed, the tires changed. Talk a little bit more about that. How?
Well, the track changed a little bit just with the temperature change in turn 1 there, with the shadows coming down on the racetrack a little bit, and then tires change when you put another set on. You know, they're not all the same. There's a little bit of differences between them all, and so you try to get them staggered up and you try to get them spring rated out all the same, but you're never going to know exactly what the rubber is, you know, what the compound of it is, what the properties of it exactly are. So a couple sets were a little bit different than some others, and that last set that we put on was just horrendously tight. I mean, it was just so bad. So we were lucky to hang on to a 3rd place finish.
Austin Kilgore, Dallas Blog. A couple of the restarts, you seem to be all up on the 99's bumper. Did you feel like you were stronger than him on the restarts, and how did that translate over the course of a tire run?
He just didn't have very good forward bite on restarts, and whatever it might be, just whatever they're doing. You know, their car is in such yaw all the way through the corner. It's sideways through the corner. That's not loose. That's just a product of how their car is. You look at it going down a straightaway and it's crooked. So, you know, that's probably a product of their bad restarts, is just not being able to get a good forward bite up off the asphalt. And I could run into him about every restart. So I just push him. You know, I'd squeak to the outside, but then I knew he would block, so I just kept pushing him, and didn't want to wreck him or nothing. Just these cars match up so you can push like that. And so as far as him going on into a run, I mean, his car would just continuously turn. And
how your car would react over the course of a tire run?
It would go from tight to loose to tight loose to loose to everything. You name it, it was it. I mean, it was just all over the place.
Okay, we'll come back over here.
Kyle, did you let yourself think you might pull off the double victories this weekend?
No, I knew the 99 was just holding back and waiting and just not showing everything he had. He probably could have led 334 of the however many laps there were today. So, you know, he didn't show his full hand, but we knew he was good. The 48 was pretty good, but, you know, I figured that most of the race there, the 99 was just holding back, hanging out, and just chilling.
Chuck?
Yeah, given the way the car was running today and given the handling problems you were having, at some point during the race, was it kind of a mindset that, hey, I'm just going to try and finish as high as I can on this one, and if that's 3rd place, then maybe that's what I have to live with?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I do every race, you know. I mean, if there's a shot to go for 2nd, then we would have taken it. But there at the end, it was just survival. It was just about holding those guys off behind us. You know, it wasn't going to be to move forward at all because we were just so tight. So if we had a different race car, probably I would have tried a little bit harder. But it wasn't worth it today.
Any further questions?
It went good. I mean, obviously we got a win and a third-place finish, my best finish here in a Cup car. So I'd evaluate the weekend as a positive. And now going into Phoenix, another place where I tend to run well, I'm pretty excited about that and excited to take a couple days off.
We have one question upstairs.
Kyle Jeffbuck from NASCAR scene. On Friday, I seen McDowell's wreck, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, nobody can probably ever question the car again because it's so safe. Then I watched the race today, and I'm thinking that maybe I changed my mind because it just didn't look like good racing. Where can we go with the car? Is this the kind of racing that we're going to be sort of stuck with seeing?
I am not answering that question. You go to NASCAR and ask that question.
And we got one more upstairs.
Yeah, Nate Ryan, USA Day. Kyle, I think you said on Thursday or Friday that you expected Carl Edwards was the huge favorite coming into this thing, and that because he's been so dominant on mile-and-a-half tracks today. Obviously you said he could have led through in 34 laps today. Any cracks in that in invincibility right now, or is he just far and away the best mile-and-a-half car right now?
I mean, Jimmie was a lot better today than we'd seen him all year long, and so he had a good car, but nothing was as good as a 99. And there in the beginning part of the race, we were probably tricking ourselves, racing as good as we were up front. Me leading some, Jimmie leading some, and the 99 just kind of hanging out back there, just chilling, But I still think that he obviously had the best car, and we need to go back to our shop and get some work done at Joe Gibbs Racing to try to make our stuff a little bit better. To now we don't just have to catch the 99. Now we got to catch the 48.
I think that wraps it up. Thank you, Kyle. Congratulations. Good job. We're now joined by our second-place finisher, driver of the number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet, Jimmie Johnson. Jimmie, tell us about your run.
Good run. Does this thing work? Good run throughout the day today. Just real proud of all the effort that's gone into picking up our intermediate track program. Really showed today, and was pretty eventful. Ran up front, led a little bit. I think clean air was really, really important, and I was really shocked today in how bad the cars drove in traffic. It would be in the past, last two intermediate tracks, our stuff, I had bigger problems than worrying about how the car drove. But it was really unfortunate. You just catch people, and the guy in front of you run their pace. I really think we need to look at some changes to help these cars not be so aero-dependent. They're safer. They're doing a lot of things in the right way, but we really need to look at making some changes so that these cars can have a little more downforce, so that when we get into low downforce situations, there's more grip in the car.
We'll open up to questions from the media. Again, as courtesy, state your name and affiliation.
Peter Wiggins with Fox Television in Dallas. Jimmie, on the restart, tell me what you saw as far as the 99, because from my vantage, it looks like he just jetted out of there.
Yeah, on the restart, he spun his tires a little bit, and I was with him. I felt like I should maybe try the outside around through 1 and 2, but with all the oil dry that was down from the caution before, I knew that'd be a bad decision. And went in through 1 and 2 with him, and he got away from me a little bit, and we just kind of ran from there on out. Once you get up to speed, the cars are so dependent on the aerodynamics that the guy in front has a major advantage, more than we've ever had.